Get your trousers off.
Did leg day the other day, so my legs are.
Yeah. All right.
Excuses.
It's going to be a bit of a stretch. Gluteus maximus.
You're going to be alright with this?
Tacked.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, mate. Put your hands up.
What do you feel in there now?
Nothing really.
Nothing.
Not really.
Good. How does that feel on the right?
I mean, the right's so much looser.
Because I dislocated my shoulder, so when I was doing shoulder press, it was like that. That felt like the same as this.
Yeah.
So I had to do that, which felt like this.
Okay.
Guys, this is Felix from SS1 Performance. This is Savas. He is an actor and has a few things that we're trying to fix. So Savas, if you could maybe tell the guys a little bit about what you're dealing with in terms of like body-related stuff that you've wanted to get fixed, so that they know what I'm going to be doing.
Mainly some imbalances on my right hand side of my body,
Okay.
specifically with my leg, but also that relates to, zoom in on the foot mate as well, that also relates to sort of the upper back as well, the shoulder, general tension in the top half of the back, probably from working here as well, leaning over the desk and stuff like that. But yeah, I just want to get a little bit more loose and fix my posture a little bit. I've noticed like how you pointed out earlier, I'm kind of thrusting forwards a little bit.
Yeah, so okay, so you kind of feel like everything's going through the right side.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, just it's kind of like it's more tight on the right side.
And if you're doing something like a squat or lunge or deadlift, you know, how does that kind of come through when you're doing your movement pattern?
It's fine. It's just obviously I have to adjust my foot because my leg naturally has developed, so it's like this. So my knees are straight and my foot's there.
Yeah,
if I turn
so
my
the
foot
tracking
in,
is...
it goes inwards.
Yeah,
So
okay.
my legs, some people you see it, they have it like this.
Okay.
I've just got one leg.
Right.
So I'm a bit unique like that.
Don't have any shorts, do you?
No, unfortunately not.
Get your trousers off.
Yeah.
You don't have to film him getting changed if you don't want to, mate.
Dun, 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 dun.
Alright. Looking good, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Right, so just run us through that briefly. So you saw a physio and a chiropractor?
Over the period of my life, I've seen physios, chiropractors, and they've said there's no actual problem with the knee being, with the leg shaping like this.
Yeah.
However, because of that, I've had some imbalances, and I did have an ankle injury in 2019.
Yeah.
And since on the right side as well.
Yeah.
So that's added more strain to the.
Which way did it turn?
It rolled that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Regarding like the physio and chiropractors, what they said,
Yeah.
did they say why it was rotated? Or where the rotation was coming from?
They didn't. I can't remember where. They probably might have done, but I can't remember where they told me the rotation was coming from.
Probably best that we start sort of top to bottom. So if you just stand there and then face the mirror and just do a few rotations like this. So I'll just use the same standard for like all of the sort of postural stuff. And then just give me a bit of a feel about what's going on. Alright, cool. Any kind of tension when you're doing this, or does it feel okay?
A little bit stiff, but nothing major.
From here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Keep on going. Just go from centre to the left and then back to centre again. And just
Keep my
on
feet
doing
flat on
that
the floor.
move. That's right, yeah. Keep them flat. And then we're just going to see what parts of the body contribute. But keep on going from centre and then to left only, and then back to centre again. So don't go right. Good. And left again. Perfect. Turn this foot in a bit more. Good. And then keep that going with that movement. And 2 more times to the right. Okay, right. So,
Resistance.
it's all kind of well in the, you can relax for a second. So, I mean, technically that knee is, you could say, yeah, it's all right, like it's working and well enough, but when you're actually rotating that way, it's not really contributing to that movement.
Yeah, I can
So
feel
that-
it. It's just
Yeah,
short
so that movement's coming from somewhere, right? Like it's not just like you're ending up going there one way or another, but that whole leg is basically stuck in one position. So that movement's coming from somewhere else, somewhere that it probably shouldn't be coming from.
Yeah,
And
compensates.
yeah, so we've got a compensation come from different places. So try and do just a few of these. So drive your hip to the right, good, and then back to centre, and then to the right again, and keep on going. Hold position. Get more weight back on your heels. A bit more, and a bit more. There. Now imagine you've got like something here, so you can't go forward, and do that same movement, drive your hip to the right. And now you can feel a ton of tension, I guess?
Yep.
Yeah, and where's the tension come from, here or here?
Here.
Here. Okay, cool. Keep on, sink back here, drive that movement again. And how does that feel?
Hardly any tension, really.
Yeah, okay, fine. Can you now just do 10 squats like that? Basically, just maybe step off the mat because the mat's not really reflective of like how wide your feet should be. So just like stand free here.
Did leg day the other day, so my legs are.
Yeah. All right.
Excuses.
It's going to be a bit of a
don't worry.
stretch.
We're not going to make any judgments.
No, mate.
Nice. And do you do barbell squats?
Yeah.
Can you do that with your hands, just so it's like as close as possible to a barbell squat? Okay, cool. So we're just going to mess around with your tracking a little bit. So if you now bring that toe in a bit, there we go, and then just do some squats from this position. Good. And again. Good. And what are you feeling when I do that?
Less mobility,
Yeah.
stiffness.
And it's coming through here, yeah?
Yeah, and also it feels like I need
Right
to
in
stop.
through the knee, yeah.
Yeah.
Go again. Because at the moment, like when you're going to the side, your muscles in the side of your torso, basically, probably the TVA and some of the other ones like the QL might be a bit locked up, so your ribs and your hips can't separate. And then it looks like your sort of glute medius and your other muscles in your leg are probably locked up to protect this area and stop it from rotating to basically protect the knee. If we can get some soft tissue release done, we might end up getting a quick result.
It's funny you said that, like the ribs and stuff, because I did have an injury on the right side of my back as well.
Right.
That I mentioned before when I was doing a row, a single arm row.
Yeah.
It was where the shoulder blade was.
Yes. So
I'd like pulled a straight.
under here,
And then it was like when I went to a chiropractor today, it was overlapping.
it was overlapping.
The ribs kind of were sort of like nearly overlapping.
I see. Okay. Just stand normally again. Okay.
Yeah, that's tight.
In there. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a few muscles overlapping, but it's probably your TVA. Like it's one of the muscles that's sort of like responsible for helping you rotate and also kind of like do this like abduction movement.
Okay.
So, right, okay, so we can release that. We need to release this.
Yeah.
We need to get that done as well. All right, before doing any of that, let's just check your lunges. So if you just do 10 reverse lunges where you kind of stay somewhat upright, good, and then feet together, and then step back again. You know earlier on when I reshifted the toe
Yeah.
and got you through those squats, and then when you stood up, you went like that.
Yeah.
What did you feel?
I think a lot of it's to do with habit, but also there's just a bit of like tension.
Like there was tension
Yeah,
left
no, I
over,
can
you
feel
had to
like
kick
it's
it out.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I need you to do a sort of NFL style side lunge. So basically you go left to right, and it should always look like you're ready to bounce back into the center position. That's pretty good, yeah. Now what I want you to do, quite important, right, is I don't want you to let the foot lift off the ground because I want to keep that job for the ankle. Good. How tight is that through like the groin and inner thigh?
Pretty tight. It's tight.
Is it pretty bad like on this leg, or is it bad on both legs? So right now versus...
Probably a little bit worse on this one.
Yeah, okay. And
It's tight quite generally though.
both sides, right, okay. Okay, so turn out 45 degrees of rotation like this. Right, what I want you to do is try to do a squat where you basically do something that looks like this. Right, that means you have to track your knees with your toes. As you're doing that, you sort of like drive your hips back and then lean forward a bit. And then your hands can just be here, good. And then push up again. How much groin stretch do you get on that? That's all right. Good.
It's loose. It's
Okay. Rotate out a tiny bit more on both sides. Bit less than that. Good. And then just do the same thing again. Bring this one in a bit. That's it. Okay, go again. Keep this really tight, so don't let that kind of fold over. Okay, so chest out. Good. And then I only want you to go down so that basically these 2 points converge, pelvic crease, top of the patella. So once these 2 points get to the same level, just stop there, don't go any lower. Yeah, that's it. Good. Drive up again.
I feel it really tight in my thigh.
Yeah. Okay, so going through here.
Yeah, it's like shooting pit.
What's your pain tolerance for sort of massage and stuff? Have you had physio?
I've had physio. Generally, I'm quite good.
Okay.
But probably go 75, and if I say 100,
Okay. So the deal is basically, it's like if you can experience something that's quite intense and then still breathe and not be like that, then technically we're still making some kind of progress, even though people disagree with that. But yeah, if you get to the point where you are like, actually, you know, this is just stress and nothing else, then that's when you say, okay, chill.
Okay, cool.
So I'll be asking you for like numbers between 1 and 10 throughout this, and we're just going to do like a localized approach. So I'm basically going to go release that, and I'm going to do that with like massage techniques like sweeping motions. I'm going to do an elbow release on like all the glute areas. We're going to do an active release here. So you're going to be driving like this as I'm going to be unlocking and anchoring these muscles here to get that sorted. And then I'll do a release through here of like using mainly my elbows. And then we'll do a pectoral bit here as well. So you're going to be driving through there. So the whole thing is going to be all one-sided. And then we're just going to see if that has any immediate effects. But I think there's enough soft tissue work so that if we released all of that and then you started moving a little bit for a week or so, you could easily just come back and say, okay, these are the results, what's left over.
Because even now, like, my ankle still feels slightly weak on the right side from when I sprained it.
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of like get a bit of a feel for kind of like what's going on here. Okay, so any tension in there, pain in there?
Not really,
not
like,
like nothing major, no? Everyone has different kind of levels of laxity in their joints. So if I know about that one, then this one has a bit more context.
Let's see what this one's saying.
So, first of all, I'm going to see what your actual leg is doing. Okay. So if we just forget about the foot for a second and we look at the knee, then we can kind of say, what's the rotation? How does that feel as I'm rotating that in and out?
Feels a little bit weird on the knee, feels a bit vulnerable.
Yeah, so you feel that in there?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Even if I'm...
The fluid, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot more fluid in my right knee as well, is what the chiropractor pointed out.
Yeah, and how does this feel as I'm doing that same sort of thing?
A little bit less.
You don't feel anything up there though, do you?
No.
Cool.
Oh yeah, see there.
In there.
It feels, it's not painful, it just feels...
Like it's somewhere that you're trying
Yeah,
to
like it feels like it's going to snap or something, yeah.
Yeah.
It feels
Okay.
alien.
So yeah, it's kind of like your attachments. Quite a lot of water
So
retention.
much more, you can see it, the lump is like a
Yeah,
lump in my...
so there's definitely some kind of torsion going through here. There's fluid there for a reason, obviously.
It's overcompensating, yeah.
Yeah, so there's stuff going through this joint, which is, you know, there's some kind of misalignment. Right, so if I do that, and then and then that feels fine, yeah? And then everything in there.
Ooh, a bit painful, that's painful, yeah.
Okay, so then we compare that exact pressure to the other side, because that's a soft tissue in there.
Nowhere near.
Yeah, okay. And then anything going on in here.
A little bit.
So now I will look at this foot.
Yeah, this is, I'm nervous about this foot.
Is this painful?
Painful as such, I think I've kind of probably got like PTSD from like...
Yeah, your nerves are
when
set up to be like anything that happens down here
I'm
is...
very nervous about the right ankle.
Yeah.
Just naturally.
So how does that feel?
It feels alright, again, just feels like it's going to come off my foot, off
Yeah.
my leg.
And how does that feel?
It's fine.
Okay, all right. So I'm just going to kind of go a little bit easy here and not really kind of do too much. What I will say is that it does move. There's just a heavy neurological bias towards inversion, meaning that all of the magic that happens when you put your foot down as you walk and run is not happening, and then all of that stress ends up going through that bone or through these bones,
To the knee.
and then it goes through here.
Okay.
And then this is designed to do certain things, but not everything that this does. And therefore,
Fluid.
there it is. But it's not like the cause necessarily, right? This might be the origin of how this all started, or this might be the outcome of something that translated downstream. Start with some soft tissue release on like some of the main muscles that are causing you problems.
Let's get this toolbox out.
So,
Hey.
yeah.
Now we're in business.
This is the real deal. Okay, so that's the muscle that kicked off when you tried to do one of the movements that we were
Yeah, it's
looking
like
at
a
before.
shooting pain, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically, you know, we need to see what's going on here, and then this is all going to be kind of connected. So what I have to do first is get a little bit of warmth through here. All right, this is going to be a bit rough possibly,
It's fine, mate.
but
I've had rougher.
yeah, well, hopefully so, mate, hopefully so, because otherwise you're going to be in for it, mate. This is so this isn't feeling too bad, is it?
I mean, it's all right. It's kind of nice.
Right, yeah, good. There we go. So there we go. It's
I
not.
feel like, you know, don't worry, I feel the strain, but I feel like it's massaging.
So what I'm doing basically here, yeah. So yeah, there we go. Don't get too excited. Yeah. What I'm doing is that you have trauma at the attachment points, right? But there's a big fucking muscle there, right? That's pulling on that bit at the end.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm trying not to go into the part that you're particularly unhappy with, so that we can kind of get some blood flow in the rest of the muscle. So how's this feeling now?
Yes.
Now it's starting to,
rock up.
yeah. And is it rocking up all over here or down here?
Where you're rubbing.
There, yeah, good. Okay, so that's what we want. We don't really want you to kind of like be feeling it in the place that's chronically tight all the time. We're trying to look for the other places that's supposed to be, you know, contributing a bit more. Right. So now it's starting to get into it a bit more, yeah? Yeah. Okay. So there's supposed to be all these fibers like neurologically activating and all that sort of stuff, right? And if these were all shutting down and this was the only bit that was left, sort of if you kind of think about it like that, like everything was just kind of going through there. So I'm going to do kind of like a high pressure sort of stroke using the forearm, okay? So just breathe through it. Okay. How bad was that?
That was a lot, yeah.
Was that like a 8 out of 10? Or?
I'll give that an 8, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give that an 8.
Probably don't have to do too many of those, but there's at least one more.
Oh, okay, let me just...
I
need to take a deeper breath, because halfway through I went, shit, I've run out.
Yeah, it's fine. If you need to, like, you know, call me the C word or whatever.
Oh, we can swear?
Or just beep it out.
Oh,
like
it's such a bad mouth.
Yeah, I called my physio, like, when he, like, I can't remember what he did. I was doing a needle on my elbow, and then I was like, I didn't know what it was at the time, and then when it popped, it was like, yeah, and then I was like, oh, sorry, mate. Right, so.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, you okay with that?
Yeah, that was right.
Cool, okay.
Did it look bad? Sam?
It looks sore.
It looks, yeah.
Right, so down here, how does this feel now?
I feel like this, yeah. That's all right. That's all right.
That's fine now.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's...
All right, well, there we go. So you see what I mean? So before, because I was here before, and you were like...
Oh, really? I can't remember.
Yeah. It was a long time
A
ago.
lot's happened.
It was at least a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
But this area here, when I pressed on that earlier, you were like, oh, I don't like that.
Oh, yes, yeah, I remember. Okay,
right.
No,
so that's... It wasn't because this was the only guy that was doing any work. So it's not his fault, you know what I mean? It's all them.
Okay.
So now I just need to do this and just...
So what do I need to do to make sure that...
You need to foam roll.
Always on that?
This muscle. Don't go to necessarily the place... The guys complaining might be the only one turning up to work, yeah? It can be that this is an attachment point here, right? And there's muscles upstream that are pulling on them. They're high blood flow there, so if you roll those, you'll get a good response. This has got lower blood flow as you get towards the bone because it's more like tendon, so it's not really like got the same amount of capillaries and stuff. So I'm going to do one more on here, which is a bit unpleasant, right? Because it's going to be splitting. Right. All good?
Yes.
Is that pretty unpleasant, or was it okay?
That wasn't too bad.
Okay.
That wasn't too bad.
Pretty bad, or is this kind of okay?
It's not too bad. When I point, it's more painful, but when I flex, it's not really.
Because that's when, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, yeah, so if you're asking if you can push on it, you can definitely.
Yeah, I'm not going to go too crazy with this because it's like, I think that by doing all of the, everything up and down the chain, we might get the result that we need, like as in you might get some relief and this might start tracking a little bit more. Feeling all right so far?
It was painful, but I can hold it.
You can hold it, yeah. So what's like a 7?
Probably like an 8, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And where are you feeling exactly where I'm?
Yeah, it's very sharp.
Yeah, so basically you've got this big bias towards this inversion. So this is one of the muscles that's sort of contributing to that. So by doing this, what we're trying to do is open it up, getting you like basically oxygenate the muscle and hydrate it afterwards. Like your immune system will basically sort this out afterwards. But yeah, this muscle is kind of holding your foot. Okay, you all right?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Same again.
Don't get me wrong, like it's painful, but after it's done, it feels like release.
Right, I see.
So
Yeah, that's good. So I'm just going through, just on the kind of trigger point here.
oh yeah, that's shooting down to my ankle. I can feel that.
Yeah. Move slightly just to, same sort of thing, or is it, because I moved about a few millimeters, is it still the same?
Yeah, so it's, yeah.
Okay, just relax completely. So what we do with this is just a trigger point. So I want you to kind of tell me when this is sort of disappeared. So if it was like an 8, when it goes down to like a 5,
Okay.
then just give me a shout. But try and like breathe, try and relax like as much as you can. Yeah, because I felt the release happen just before I asked.
It's gone down. Yeah.
Good. Right, okay. So, well there you go. I don't know if you can, how does that feel now?
Yeah, feels fine.
It doesn't feel like you're
very
unhappy about me touching your foot anymore?
It's fine, yeah.
Okay, right. I'm looking at you basically because when I do this stuff, like I look at people's faces, because when you're moving something, you can tell a lot.
Their reactions.
Even if it doesn't matter what they say to some extent, like you can kind of see, like, is someone particularly impressed with me, like, you know, moving something around. Now, I'm moving this around, I'm not getting stressed about it, whereas before I was like, oh, this guy really doesn't want me moving his foot. And you can feel it in the bones and the tissues and stuff. It's like, you can just feel like the nervous system be like, don't fucking move me, bro. Like, you know, what the hell are you doing?
No, this feels
Okay,
more comfortable.
this is a lot different now. And it's probably just because of, just the muscle has just kind of eased off a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, right, cool. So that's about as much of a result as I want to get on there just for the moment. This part will be probably, it could be worse than that one. So just lie on your front. So
Oi! Oh my days!
I haven't even started pushing, to be honest.
I know.
Like,
Oh, mate, I told you that the weights on the legs the other day, so my gluteus maximus
you're going to be alright
is
with this?
tacked.
Okay, right, start moving. Alright, let's do it. Start moving that heel.
Oh, sorry.
You have to move it out as well as in.
Is it not going out? Is that
Yeah, that's a bit better, yeah. Yeah.
I can't really do any better than that, mate.
No, that's fine. Okay. This is where you might start
Oi.
getting a bit. There we go.
Oh, sweet.
Right. Okay. So let's go.
Yeah, that's.
So this would be the side glute or the glute medius, right? So this is the one that actually I only did the first one just to make sure that I wasn't missing out, you know, on the sort of piriformis and all that. Pretty rough.
Rough, but yeah, you can push harder if you need.
Yeah, it's not like I don't necessarily need to push the hardest, but it's kind of like I can sort of feel through
Yeah,
the.
this feels knackered, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. If I press in there, is that pretty horrible, or is it?
Are you pressing that?
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, because I pressed in that before.
Yeah, it was dangerous before.
Yeah, but now it feels okay. Yeah.
No, it's smooth.
Yeah, so that wasn't even, I didn't even treat that muscle, but because some of the others were released, the muscles around them seemed to release like fairly well. So good, because you don't really want me to massage that because it's like, it's unpleasant. Right, so.
Hey! Oh, mate, are you joking? That is.
And I'm not really doing much.
Hey!
So how about that pain threshold?
Yeah, come on, give it to me, you bastard.
Yeah. Stress this enough, I'm not actually doing very much here. Okay, so this is like, yeah, this is obviously, you know when you had that issue with the muscle under your scapula, yeah, if the scapula doesn't move very often, then yeah, you're going to have a bit of a situation when it does need to move. How heavy was that dumbbell when you did your single hand row?
Not too heavy.
Not too heavy. Yeah, this is, we can beat.
24, 22.
Okay. Right, swap the hands over, mate. You feeling all right?
That's like.
It's nearly over. Don't worry. Well, this part's nearly over.
That was danger. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know when like, oh.
I know what you mean.
Hey.
So you've not had anyone do any kind of thoracic sort of release before, no? Your physios didn't do that.
I've had sports massages, but the chiropractor, it was more. He did give me like deep tissue massage, but he
Did it
did
a nice
the
way.
the clicking stuff.
Yeah. So he did the high velocity thrusts and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
So, hey!
Yeah.
Is that your elbow?
Yeah.
Oh my days.
I'm not going to use my fingers for this. Right.
That's fine actually. This is all right.
Yeah, up there you're not too bad. It's mainly the area around there. That's the rhomboid. Rhomboid minor. Well, actually, no. No. Basically, there's a few muscles overlapping, but this is actually part of your traps as well, and your levator scapula. So, just try and get a little bit more space through here, and then you might start rotating a bit more when you're walking, running, doing whatever. So, you feeling okay?
Oh, yeah. Feel more. I feel taller.
Yeah, you probably are a little bit taller. You know, there's a bit more going on here. Right, okay, so I want you to basically do a movement. It could be this, it could be this, it could be whatever. As long as you're displacing your hip and you're opening out your ribs, then that's fine. I don't want you doing that. Okay, let's go.
Can I have my arms down?
You can put them wherever you want, as long as you can drive that hip, well, I'm all good. Good. You alright? This is pretty bad, yeah?
You can dig a bit harder.
That's fine. This will do. Just make sure you're on that heel area.
You don't want to play some music, get me looser.
Yeah, you could put on some Marvin
Shakira.
Gaye.
Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. It's the right kind of stuff for this. Is that tougher or is that okay?
This is fine.
This is fine.
Just front the mirror, this looks great.
Yep.
Sam, get a mirror shot of this.
Oh, you got to get a mirror shot, mate.
There you go.
It's like catching a wine.
Dancing in the dark.
Okay, right.
Oh, that was painful.
Yeah, it's nearly over. Don't worry. Okay, I need you to start doing this movement, up and down. Cool? Yeah.
Bro. That's just right.
Good. Give it a proper reach, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, good.
Reach up for the stars.
Okay, good. Nice. Okay.
Put your hands up.
Okay, go again.
What's another?
Try and distract yourself with any old 90s tracks.
I'm trying to think of an old.
Yeah, any more S-Club
Sam,
7?
what's another? Reach up. No, like hands. Put your hands up. Take it to the floor.
Oh yeah, that's a tune.
know.
Green light. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
roll deep.
I don't know.
Roll deep.
I was going more like S-Club 7, sort of
right.
like back then.
Me
Like
5,
6, 7.
Yeah.
Distance range driving.
Okay, go for, keep on going with this, so we're just going to unlock that now. What's it like in there?
A bit stiff.
But not too bad, right?
Not awful, no. Compared to what we've done, mine.
Right, good.
A little bit stiffer there, but that's fine.
Yeah, and you feel the click?
I feel the clip. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. This is what happened when I had the injury.
Yeah.
Ever since then, obviously I don't know if it's relevant, but my shoulders just being able to click like mad.
Right.
This right side.
Okay, relax again. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Start doing this movement here. Bring it down. Just relax for a second. Okay, let's go. Good. Okay. Right. Do a few checks now. So just rotate out like this. How does that feel on the right?
I mean, the right's so much looser.
Right.
It's like I've just oiled the.
Yeah.
the joints.
So you feel like the right is now sort of like feels different to how it usually does.
Yeah, loosey goosey.
Relax for a second. This won't be very nice.
Oh. Oh. God.
Nearly there.
I feel like Iron Man in the Avengers, you know, he's got the tickets.
This is the, it's basically pulling on this segment of your...
shitting down my whole arm.
Yeah, just going to get a little bit more work through here, just because that's around where the attachments are. You right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Ah!
Yeah, cool. Nearly there, mate.
Mate, got a tight chest, mate.
Yeah. Good. Right. Do another check now.
Mate, I live like a moon.
Okay, again, and try and kind of like really stretch out, like create some space.
Yeah.
There we go. Right, do 2 more of those. Good. And 1 more. Cool. Right, so that shoulder's feeling okay.
Feels good.
Good. Just do one more thing. Put your hand there.
Ah, you're joking, man.
Yeah, this is the last one.
Oh,
This is
that's
saved it
awful.
for last.
That's awful.
It's
Whew. Sam, give me a song, quick. Give me a song. Give me a song.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Give me a song. Think of one.
who's
Quick.
that Scottish woman who was on that talent thing?
Susan Boyle.
Yeah,
Susan
do you know
Boyle.
what's the best Susan Boyle song?
Oh, you listen to Susan Boyle.
I don't know. I can't think of a single track myself, but
There was one. What was the one that she sang on her audition?
Sam, this is
I can't even
pick
remember.
a song, bro. Pick a song.
what about some of the music from Trainspotting?
I'm going to 16th passenger. This is a G5. No, this is not a Challenger. Trainspotting.
I thought the second one was actually pretty good.
Second
fair.
Trainspotting's great.
Yeah. What do you think of the second Trainspotting?
I think it's shape, mate. Ah!
Okay, that's good.
Oh, mate. That was awful. That was like...
Yeah, it's basically the muscle that pulls your scapula sort of around, like protraction, retraction, all that. So if your chest is pulling you down here, then you've got your pec minor on the 3 ribs pulling that down there, that Kurokoi process, and then basically you've got this other muscle here that's pulling
Yeah, because
that.
I notice when I'm like bench pressing or dumbbell pressing, it's like it's really hard to focus on getting them
Yeah,
quite symmetrical.
yeah, because we don't want this to stop. We want this to be like moving again, this part of your body.
Yeah.
And if this muscle won't function properly, then you could end up with another problem down here again, which we don't want. Okay, 2 more checks and then 1 more. Cool. All right, so shoulders fairly well released. Can you do 3 of those on one side? Cool. How's that feel now?
Yeah, loose.
Okay. Can you do sink back a bit? Do it again. Okay, so that's moving quite well. Go again. Cool. So what do you feel in there now?
Nothing really.
Nothing.
No, not really. No.
Good. Rotate that one out more and keep it going. Keep rotating it out. Keep it going. That's it. Bit more on that one. That's it. Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. Try not to move the feet. I want you to do a set of squats where you track your knees roughly with your toes, not exactly, but just somewhere near them. So hands like that to begin with. Let's see. Good. Yeah, nice. Come up again. Good. And now switch to the sort of elbow stance we had before. And then just tell me the difference. Like, what do you feel happening?
Feel less sort of tension
Through
and
here.
less reliance on the knee.
So you're not really like tuning in as much to the knee, you mean?
No. I do
Right.
feel still a little bit tight along the Achilles.
Yep, okay. Can you turn both toes in a bit more? And turn that one in a bit more still? And a bit more. Good. And then do another set of squats, but try not to move the feet out, just track the knees with the toes. Good. And then push up again. And how does that feel?
Yeah, better.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, last check. Do a 45-degree sumo style. Right. And then try to do that. This is like the last kind of test, really. So you put your hands like that. Last time that muscle completely overdid it, right? So just be careful on the way down, like that, and then drive up. Good. And then do 4 more of those. And how's it feeling?
Yeah, better.
Right, so you
Better.
don't feel that sort of over tightening.
No.
Do 3 more of those. All we've really done there is we've just done a load of soft tissue release and then just done a bit of sort of manual work on some of your joints. So in theory, what would happen now is you sort of go back to your training and you make marginal adjustments to sort of how you're aligning that foot. Like, I personally don't think it's quite right to just let it go exactly as it was going before, because obviously it wasn't doing you any favours. If how long ago was it that they said it's basically working fine? It was like 2019, like 20, yeah. So I mean, if there's all this fluid in there, that's, we
Need to get the fluid.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think that allowing the knee to go here and the foot to go there is probably a good idea. I think what you do is you maybe just try and dial it in a little bit. Think about maybe pulling that toe in so it at least matches this toe a little bit more. And then try to just consider, like when you're squatting and things, just see if you can kind of get that knee starting to travel a little bit more in line with the toes, a little bit. It probably won't be exact. There might be an actual structure, like solid structure function, where it's like it's never going to be like perfect, but I think it's too far at the moment. And then base that on like pain, discomfort, like how it feels. But I've done the releases, the very basic, like I could have done this for like 2 hours at least, and then done a lot more. But for the moment, if you then just take that up onto the gym floor for the next 2 weeks, then in theory.
So when you're saying when I'm squatting, just have this foot a little bit further in.
Yeah, so if you
And
see,
make sure the knees align.
yeah, so if you look in the mirror right now, you can see that your right toe is much further up than your left.
Yeah.
So now if you put them together, put them in a place that's symmetrical, that you think is symmetry.
About here.
Okay, so that's not actually symmetry.
Okay.
So if you turn that toe in a bit more on the right, that's basically symmetrical.
Okay.
Your-
I've got my glasses on.
No, that's fine. But no, that's what I'm saying. Is that your brain will tell you that this is obviously that to you. That feels like this.
Yeah. So
Yeah, because I dislocated my shoulder, so when I was doing shoulder press, it was like that. That felt like the same as this.
Yeah.
So I had to do that, which felt like this.
Okay.
Right. So what I'm saying is your perception is going to screw up the whole thing. So you have to be ultra focused on. So that's like marginally like this. That's basically fine. So work on that for the next 2 weeks, and then what we'll do is we'll do a follow up.
Okay, cool.
And then we'll
I'm
see.
doing it tomorrow, actually. I'm doing it next tomorrow.
Perfect. So I think, probably need 2 weeks, and then what we're going to do is we're going to see what the outcomes are.
Yeah.
Because, if anyone watches this, they'll say, oh, what's that going to do? Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll do progress.
And then hopefully we'll see some improvements. And then whatever's not done, we'll get it done.
Fingers crossed.
Cool. All right, so that was episode 1, and, we'll see what happens next time. So thanks for tuning in, and, you feel all right now?
I feel good. I feel really good, yeah.
Cool. All right. Nice one. See you later.
Over and out.
Nice.
Over and out.